Assalamu alaikum, family, and happy Holy Day of Atonement. Today is the 30th anniversary of the Million Man March, which I'm going to get into in a second here. But just want to say, hope you all are having a blessed, wonderful day. Hope that you're all doing well. This is my third time trying to do this video. Every time I've tried to, the previous times I've tried to do it, I've had a phone call, had an interruption, but it was a phone call that I needed to take. So all hope and pray to Allah that I have no more interruptions. I'm gonna try to get through this video best way I can. But meantime and in between time, hope that you all are having a blessed and wonderful day. Hope that you all are doing well. In the likelihood that you're having one of those days, always remember this: tough times don't last. Tough people do. Keep your hope, trust, and faith in Allah God, and He will see you through. And also remember this: this is the day that Allah has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. Sorry, it's been a couple of weeks since I've been on here. The wife and I, we moved from our apartment upstairs to this apartment here on the first floor. We're downsizing, so I've been very busy moving and working. I didn't have any days off for me to move, so that's why I haven't been on here in a couple of weeks. So please forgive me for that long delay there, and I hope you all understand. You know, moving is no joke, and if you ever had to move, then you know what I'm saying. So I appreciate y'all, and thank y'all for rocking with me. Now let's get through this video. So, salute, brother Iron Will. Salute, sir. How you doing, family? Yep, I'm still in the Bay Area. I'm still here for another 9 months. Um, but I'll talk to you about that in a little bit. But yeah, we here in the Bay Area. Thank you for asking. Um, but getting to the topic for this video. So today is the Holy Day of Atonement, and happy Holy Day of Atonement to the believers. Hope that you all had a blessed and wonderful day. Hope that you all were able to get out and serve the community. I did that early this afternoon. We went out to West Oakland, and we went to a homeless encampment, and we just gave out water, the Final Call newspaper, food, fruit, and hope and inspiration to our brothers and sisters who are less fortunate than us. And this is what Allah God calls on us to do. And like I said, today is the Holy Day of Atonement, and we thank Allah for coming a person, a master for Ard Muhammad. Thank Him. We can never thank Him enough. We thank Him for bringing us a Savior, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. We thank Him for that. We can never thank Him enough. We thank the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Well, we thank Master Fard Muhammad, who came in a person of Master Fard Muhammad, God. We thank Him for the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and we thank Him that the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad was able to raise up one and teach one who's still on the scene. And I'm speaking of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Those three, those three, those three individuals, Allah God, Master Fard Muhammad, his messenger, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and the Messiah, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, who is still in our presence. We can never thank Allah enough for these three, for the Trinity. We thank them. We thank Him for these fine individuals. So today is the 30th anniversary of the Million Man March, October 16th, 1995. I checked the calendar. It was a Monday. I never forget that day. I will never forget it. Those of you who can remember what they were doing on October 16th, 30 years ago today. So I was in the United States Air Force. I had been in the Air Force for 3 months. I came in July of 95. And so yeah, came in July of 95. And so October 16th, 95, I think I was at my first duty station. So yeah, Minot, North Dakota. So I was there. Um, and we watched the Million Man March on BET. This was back when BET was B1. It was B1. How many of y'all can remember that? when BT, everything about BT was bliggity, bliggity black. Y'all remember that? So I was 19 years old, October 16th, 1995. Me and my brothers, my fellow airmen, we were in the day room in the barracks. I didn't have a TV at the time. I had just gotten there. We were in the barracks, and we had a day room where all the it was a big screen TV, a pool table, some couches, and a telephone. So it's like kind of like a common area. But in any event, we had commandeered the TV. So we watching the Million Man March, and Ed Gordon was covering it. The great Ed Gordon, who's from my hometown of Detroit. Shout out to Ed Gordon. So he was there covering the Million Man March, and we saw all these black men, all these black kill over there interrupting. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I'm ignoring him, brother. Yeah, that's my dog. That's funny. Kill over there interrupting. That's funny. But we was looking on the TV, and we saw like a sea on a national mall of black men. And I remember telling my homie, I said, yo, man, I said, did the minister call for a million black men? He said, yeah. I said, that's more than a million. That's more than a million black men. Come to find out that 2 million black men showed up. 2 million. The minister called for 1 million black men. 2 million showed up. And of course, Whitey being Whitey, the National Mall Police said that it was 500,000. They undercounted the numbers so much. But this is what they do. This is what they do. They undercut the numbers. They said it was 500,000, 600,000. I said, there's no way in hell. That's more than a million. I could see that with my naked eye that was more than a million people, a million black men. 2 million showed up. He called for 1 million, and 1 million more showed up on the National Mall. There was not as much as a brother who stepped on a brother's foot, from what I heard. And if he did, he apologized. There was no violence, no pushing, no shoving, brothers loving each other and making the pledge to go back to their communities, to be better husbands, better fathers, better sons, brothers, be pillars in their communities. And the minister told them, you don't have to join a mosque. You don't even have to join a nation. Just be pillars in your community. Join any church, any mosque, any temples, any synagogues, whatsoever have you. It doesn't matter. This is what the minister made brothers pledge, and brothers pledged to be better husbands, fathers, brothers. They did better men. And it was just so moving to see that. And that was, as far as I'm concerned, that was the most important day in history, in my life, was the Million Man March. The March on Washington that Dr. King did in '63 don't have a damn thing on the Million Man March in '95. Hell, the Million Man March in 2015, the Justice or Else March in 2015, that had over 1 million people. That was 20 years later. That had over 1 million people. So, even at 82 years young, the minister was still bringing them out. In 2015, my mother made me stay home from school. Shout out to your mother for doing that. Shout out to your mom for doing that. Salute to her for making you stay home from school to watch the Million Man March. And I bet it had an impact on your life too, Brother Iron Will. And you went to the 2015 Million Man March. Brother, I was trying to go to that. I had just moved out here the year prior to that, 2014. And I remember the minister coming out here and gearing up for that 2015 Justice or Else March. But I couldn't make it because I couldn't take off work. And I couldn't make the Million Man March because I was in the military. Funny thing, my silly behind tried to take leave. I tried to take leave. I said, I need to take leave to Washington, D.C. I need to go to and they knew what and you know, these whiteys, they knew what I was trying to do. My supervisor was like, so you're trying to take leave, huh, Ryan? Trying to go to DC. What's in DC? I'm like, my brothers are in DC, which my brothers were in DC. So I wasn't lying. My brothers were, I wanted to be with my brothers. They were in DC. And my brother, my older brother, was in Washington, DC. My uncle, shout out to my uncle Marvis, a Kibalan village on the east side of Detroit. He took, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, three busloads of black men from Detroit. I think it was three busloads. I have to ask him. Uh, I want to say three busloads of black men from Detroit to DC to be at the Million Man March. And my older brother was one of those that had gone. My older brother had gone. I couldn't go. They laughed at me. They was like, "You want to hear that Farrakhan, that Jew hater, that race baiter?" They're like, "We don't tolerate that stuff here." Whatever. But I wanted to go and be with my brothers and hear the Messiah speak. And it was a blessed event. I've heard so much about it from many brothers. Um, my uncle enjoyed himself. My older brother enjoyed himself, even though he said he didn't get nothing. He told my dad asked him, "What did you get out of it?" And my brother couldn't tell him. He just said, "I met some brothers from New York. We were sharing popcorn, and I got their number." He's like, "That's great, but what did you get out of it, son?" I remember my father asked my older brother this, "What did you get out of going to DC, hearing Farrakhan speak?" And my brother could not tell him. I'm not making this up. My older brother could not tell him, but I could tell my dad what I got out from it, and I wasn't even there. I was watching it on TV. I told him what I got out from it, and you know what my father said? He said, "You should have went to DC, and he should have stayed his ass at home in Detroit." That's what my father said. "You should have went down there to DC. He should have stayed his ass down here in, well, he said ass, but his butt down here in Detroit. Because you got something out of it from watching it on TV, and he was actually down there and he didn't get nothing from it. But he just wanted to be in the highlights, be caught up in the glamour." That's how my brother is. No disrespect to him, but that's how he is. He's still that way till this day, and he's well in his 50s. But then I think he was 23, um, and I was 19, so it's a 4-year difference between us. One of my older brothers. But I actually got something out from it though, and not just to this day. I regret not being there, but we know Allah is the best of planners and knowers, and I did get something out of it. I really did. Um, just to pledge, just to see our black men coming together, loving each other, no matter where they were from, no matter if they're from New York, Atlanta, Miami, Dallas, Detroit, LA, Seattle. It did not matter where they were from. We were all family. It didn't matter if you were Christian, Muslim, Jew, Hare Krishna, Rastafarian. It did not matter. Buddhist. It did not matter. This is what mattered. We came as one. We listened to the Messiah speak. We made a pledge, not just the Messiah, but the Reverend Jesse Jackson, the late great Maya Angelou, excuse me, the late great Maya Angelou, Sister Angela Davis, just so many powerful speakers. Oh my gosh, I know there are a lot of names I'm missing, so please forgive me. But that's just a few. It was such a blessed affair. Atonement. First, You gotta admit. You gotta admit that you wronged a person. Then you have to ask for their forgiveness. Oh my goodness. It's just, before I go any further, hit that thumbs up button, smash that thumbs up button down, hit the subscribe button so you get notifications whenever I do videos on here. But just a blessed day. And I regret that I wasn't able to go. Yup. Oh, it was on a Monday afternoon, October 16th, 1995. I just wish I was there. I mm, wow. So here's the 8 steps of atonement. Someone must point out the wrong. That's step number 1. Step number 2. Step number 2. Acknowledgement of wrong. That's step number 2. Step number 3. Confess the fault first to Allah God, then to those offended. That's step number 3. Step number 4. Repentance, a feeling of remorse or contrition or shame for the past conduct which was wrong and sinful. That's step number 4. Step number 5, atonement, meaning to make amends and reparations for the wrong. Something the United States have yet to do for Black people here in this country. And I'm speaking of reparations. Let me repeat step number 5 again. Atonement, meaning to make amends and reparations for the wrong. Step number 6, forgiveness by the offended party, to cease to feel offense and resentment against another for the harm done. That's step number 6. Step number 7, reconciliation and restoration, meaning to become friendly and peaceable again. That's step number 7. Step number 8, last but not least, perfect union with Allah, God, and with each other. That's step number 8. Those are the 8 steps of atonement. All praises due to Allah for the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and for the brothers and sisters and family in the Nation of Islam. 8 steps of atonement right there. So, can I ask y'all a question? This is kind of a rhetorical question, so bear with me. Has the United States of America, these United States of America, have she followed those 8 steps of atonement? What say you? Has the United States of America, has she followed those 8 steps of atonement toward Black people, toward the Native people, indigenous people, toward those that she's oppressed? Hell no, she hasn't. And if you think she has, then I don't know what planet you've been living on, because we're denied freedom, justice, and equality. The black man, the red man, the yellow man, the brown man, the poor white man, poor white people, all around this planet, oppressed people around this planet, from black people, red people, yellow people, brown people, poor white people. Yes, poor white people. I said it. They've been oppressed around this planet. Oppressed people. We want freedom, justice, and equality. Freedom, justice, and equality. That's what the Justice or Else March was about 10 years ago in DC back in 2015. Brother Iron Will was there. He could tell you that. So that's what we want. Freedom, justice, and equality. And not, I'm sorry, but no one could be successful in doing that Million Man March but the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Reverend Al Sharpton couldn't have pulled that off. The Reverend Jesse Jackson couldn't have pulled that off. Leaders of SNCC, leaders of the NAACP, National Urban League, they couldn't have pulled that off because it would have been compromised by their handlers, especially those in the NAACP. The Congressional Black Caucus couldn't have pulled this off. They're compromised. They're compromised by the Democratic Party and by the Zionists. That's right. It would have been co-opted. Well, you can't talk about this. You can't say this. You got to have members of the LGBTQ plus community there. You got to have transgender there. You got to have this there. You got to have them. No, no. You got to talk about immigrants. You got to talk about this. You got to talk about women being oppressed. You got to talk about this and that. Yes, we understand illegal migrants. Yes, we understand that. That's a crisis here. We understand about women. But how can the brothers come together and address the issues that they're having? If they can address the issues they're having, how can we address issues about our women? God said the man is the head. The man is the head of the household. The man is the head of the community. And again, like I said a few seconds ago, it didn't matter what walk of life you came from, whether you was a blood or a crip, a vice lord or a gangster disciple, or a peace stone. It did not matter. It did not matter. And the minister had geared up for the Million Man March 2 years before that with the Stop the Killing tour that was going all around the nation, every major city, Philly, Atlanta, Detroit, New York, LA, New Orleans, Miami. It was going all around the nation. Stop the Killing tour, which led up to the Million Man March. I believe he came up with the concept for the Million Man March at an armory in New York. Believe it was January of 1994. He had a lecture at this armory in New York. I can't remember the name of the armory, but it was in New York. And it was January 1994. And that's when it came to him that the Million Man March. So almost 2 years prior, January 94. So we thank Allah, God, for giving our minister that vision, because it really changed a lot of lives. And you got to look at the time when the Million Man March occurred. 1995. Who was president in 1995? President Bill Clinton, who many of y'all claim is the first black president. That's right, the first black president, because he went in the Arsenio Hall show and he played a saxophone. And because he smoked some Mary Jane, but he said he smoked it, but he didn't inhale. That, which is a damn lie. But that was the first black president. But what did the first black president do in 1994? A man who actually did become president before our current president, he wrote a crime bill. The 1994 crime bill, which sent thousands upon thousands upon thousands of black men, and yes, black women, to the gulags, breaking up black families forever. They gave life sentences on non-violent minimal drug charges. If you had an ounce of crack, about, I don't know, a rock that big, it was life in prison. The three strikes law. It affected black and brown people, particularly black people. And Joe Biden wrote that racist legislation, and it locked up thousands upon thousands upon thousands of our brothers and sisters, sent them to the pokey for life. breaking up black families. So the Million Man March was a year later in 95. It came at a perfect time. It came, Allah is the best of planners. Allah knew that the Messiah had a message for our people, and he knew he needed to send that message at that time. What else was going on in 1995, you may ask? East Coast, West Coast beef. That's right. East Coast, West Coast beef. Biggie and Pac, may they both rest in power. May Allah be pleased with them both. East Coast, West Coast beef is going on. We have many of our, and Bill Clinton built more prisons than any president in U.S. history. You could look that up. The first black president. OJ, my brother. So you had, thank you for pointing that out. You had our brothers and sisters being locked up by this racist ass just us system, by the Democrats, who y'all swear y'all allegiance to. They care about black people. They love black people. None of these devils love us, whether they're Republican or Democrats. They don't love us. Get that out of y'all minds. The devil is a lie. So you had thousands of our brothers and sisters being sent to the pokey on this racist legislation, this 1994 crime bill. You had the East Coast, West Coast beef with Biggie and Pac, Suge and Diddy and Puffy. And that's another story for another time. You had that going on. And like my brother Iron Will pointed out, the OJ trial had just ended a month prior to that. I think it was September 95. OJ was found not guilty of killing his wife and her boy toy. That's right, her boy toy, whom she was cheating on OJ with. So you had all these three things going on. And like I said, Allah, God, is the best of knowers and the best of planners. He could not have planned this perfectly because we needed it. And what's sad and what hurts my heart is that I wish both Biggie and Pac had been at the Million Man March, as well as Suge Knight. I don't know if Diddy was there. Was Puffy there? I'm not sure. But I know Suge Knight's ass wasn't. I wish Suge Knight, Pac, and Biggie had been at the Million Man March. I wish they had been there, because that would have ended that dumbass East Coast, West Coast beef that the Jewish handlers, the record executives, that they benefited off of big time. The Rolling Stone magazines, the Vibe magazines, MTV, the record labels, they all benefited off of us beefing with each other. They laughed their asses to the bank. Yeah, that would have been major if they would have made it. And guess what? Check this out. I bet $1 to a donut if Biggie and Pac and Suge Knight, I don't know if Diddy, if Puffy was there. I think he was. I'm not sure. He may not have been there. Someone fact check that. I don't think he was there. But if Suge, Tupac, and Biggie were there, both Pac and Big would be alive today. They would not. Pac would not have been shot in Vegas a year later, and Biggie would not have been gunned down in L.A. a year and a half later. I guarantee it. If they had been in the Million Man March, they would have put their differences aside. They would have heard what the minister was saying and put their differences aside, and they would have they most likely would have been here today. The devil, oh man. And see, we could blame Suge for that. We could blame Diddy for it, but you got to look at the puppet masters, because Suge wasn't pulling the strings. Suge was Pinocchio. There was Geppetto who was pulling Suge's strings. Suge, do this. Move this way, Suge. Move this way, Suge. Go up, Suge. Go down, Suge. Get on your knees, Suge. Speak, Suge. Geppetto was pulling the strings. We got to look to see who was Geppetto, the puppet master, who made Pinocchio, who made the puppets, who pulled the strings. It's easy to get mad at Suge, and yeah, he stands some blame too, and so does Diddy. It's easy to get mad at them, but we have to get mad at the puppet masters, many of them from the Jewish community. That's right, I said it and I stand by it. They benefited greatly off the demise of our two brothers, Pac and Biggie. Am I right or am I absolutely right? And hip hop went to hell. It went to hell in a handbasket after the death of Biggie. Now, when Pac died, it was a major blow. Don't get me wrong, it was a major blow. But when Biggie was murdered, that was the iceberg that sunk hip hop's ship. It sunk it. And look what it ushered in. This trap music, this other garbage that's on the airwaves now. That's what it ushered in. It was slowly but surely. So we could all tie this back to the Million Man March. It was a blessed event. It's probably the greatest event in our the history in our history. It's one of those, the baby boomers talk about the March on Washington. Well, the Million Man March was the greatest of all march. I want to say it was the single greatest event of the 20th century. Yes, it was. It was the single greatest event of the 20th century. I just had a thought. Brother Iron Will mentioned OJ. Imagine if OJ was at the Million Man March. Just imagine OJ Simpson was at the Million Man March. He would not have gotten into the trouble that he gotten into years later, going to prison for taking what was rightfully his, which was insane. But they were mad at OJ because he got away with killing a white woman and her boy toy, Ron Goldman. So imagine if OJ would have been at the Million Man March with Pac and Biggie and Suge. Just imagine that. Oh boy. But you know what? We thank Allah for the brothers who were there. We thank Allah for the brothers who made the pledge to change their lives, who took those 8 steps of atonement. We thank God for those brothers who made that trip to DC from thousands of miles away, no matter where they come from, whether they were there in DC or in Detroit or in Philly or in LA and Seattle, Miami, Atlanta, Dallas. We thank Allah for you brothers that came there. I hope that you will never forget this day. I hope that you will continue to pledge. Don't forget it. Don't think, okay, yeah, October 16, 1995, I made a pledge because the minister taught me so. No, 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 no. You defeating the purpose of even being there in the first place. The minister didn't just want you to just hold that pledge on that day. He wanted you to carry it for the rest of your lives. That's why he had you take the pledge in the first place. It wasn't just for October 16th, 1995. It was for October 16th, 2025. And for, inshallah, October 16th, 2055. So it's a forever thing. Not just some, okay, just one. No, it's a forever thing, brothers. So I want y'all to keep that in mind. Y'all have to keep this going. Now more than ever before, we're in a dark time. We were in a dark time in 1995, but now it's worse now. Am I right or am I absolutely right? Or is it just me? It's worse now than it was back then. So it behooves us to be better husbands, better fathers, better sons, better brothers, better men in our communities. It behooves us now more than ever before, brothers. We're living in a dark time. We just got to keep this in mind. Don't just concern yourself with October 16th, 1995. Yeah, I said a pledge, and no, you got to keep it going. You got to keep this thing going because time is of the essence. This man's world is ending, and he knows it, and he will do any and everything to destroy us. So keep that in mind. We got to keep it going forth. We have to. We owe it to ourselves. Not just the minister, but you owe it to yourselves. You owe it to your families. You owe it to your communities, damn it. So keep this thing going. Am I clear on that? And I say that out of love because we have brothers out here who have so much potential, but they don't see it. And we got to bring them to God. You owe it to, that's right. You owe it to your ancestors. That's right. I'm getting emotional, man. Because damn it, I mean every word of this. The most honorable Elijah Muhammad told us we have to deliver the 17 million dead to the Lamb of God, which is the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. Even if you don't come to the mosque, go to the church that's really doing something, that's really doing the work of God. A lot of these churches are not. A lot of these mosques aren't either. Neither are the temples. But go somewhere where you feel led, where they're doing work in the community, whether it be a church, a mosque, a temple, a synagogue, whatever. But do whatever you can, damn it. Do whatever you can. Be the man that God called you to be. And it's getting me emotional. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I'm getting emotional on here, but damn it, I mean every word. I mean this. I'm very serious about this. So that's all I had to say. I didn't want to get all emotional and start preaching on here, but I just felt led by the Spirit. I just feel led, man. And I love y'all brothers. I love y'all sisters. I love my people. I love black people. It's hard to love us. It's hard. It is hard as hell to love us. It is, but I do, and I'm gonna do whatever I can to make my to hold up my end of the bargain. And I made that pledge too in 1995 while watching it on TV. I made that pledge, and so did my other homies around me. We all made that pledge. So I'm gonna close on that note. I hope y'all got something from this video. I hope y'all did. And if so, drop your comments below and share this video. Share it, share it, share it. Flood the algorithm with this video, damn it. We have got to get the message out now more than ever before. So please, while you hit that thumbs up button, please hit that thumbs up button. Hit that subscribe button. But also share this video. Share it. I thank y'all for rocking with me. I love y'all. I'm sorry for the 2 week delay. Like I said, I was early in the video. I was moving, me and the wife and I. So I really didn't have time to come on here like I wanted to. But I'm glad I was able to do this. God allowed me to do it. And so um yeah, just hit that thumbs up button, smash that thumbs up button down, hit that subscribe button. Um Drop your comments below. I don't know why anyone would disagree with anything I said on here, but I'm sure there are people out there who will. And that's cool. I'm cool with that. Whatever. Everyone has a right to their opinion. But in the likelihood that anyone disagree with anything I said on this video, please, let's agree to disagree without being disagreeable. And in our disagreements, let's use logic, common sense, facts, and respect, not emotion and disrespect. that'll get you nowhere. So just keep that in mind. Share this video, share it, share it, share it. Um, Drop your comments below. I would love to hear what y'all think. Thank y'all for rocking with me. Uh, Support my projects coming down the trough here soon. I'm supposed to do an interview with my cousin. He's a comedian, so I have to try to schedule that here. That's coming in the future, inshallah. So I'm gonna start doing interviews with folks on here and uploading it on here. So support that and support my future projects. I thank y'all for rocking with me. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all immensely. Please continue our love and support. Brothers and sisters, y'all be safe out here. Beware and be aware. Satan comes to kill, steal, and destroy now more than ever before. So whether you're going to work, coming home from work, dropping your children off at school, picking them up, running errands, on vacation, in the house, whatever the case may be, beware and be aware. So we cannot fall asleep at the wheel in this hour. So we must always be on alert. Those of y'all in the nation, General Order number 2. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Until next time, I will talk to y'all sooner than later. Inshallah, y'all have a blessed and rest day. And I love y'all. And y'all take care. I'm out. Assalamu alaikum.